What's up, guys? It's Mirror in Media, and I had a great idea. I'm going to tell my story about how me and my boyfriend met. Yeah! So, and while I do that, I'm going to do like a butterfly on my face with only the makeup I have, inspired by Halloween. Alright, let's do this. Um, So this is my makeup bag. Whatever I have in here is what I'm gonna use. So, long time ago, in a galaxy far away, it was around my birthday, and at the time we were friends, they suggested I use OkCupid. And at first I was like, I've used like online dating before in the past, and it didn't really work out. Like, I've gone on dates and it wasn't really a problem. Like, some of them, it's just the fact that it didn't really last long. It didn't really last long. It was mainly just a date, and then we would text or something. Then afterwards, that was about it. We wouldn't talk afterwards. So, instead of being really cynical or like, I don't want to do it again or whatever, I was like, you know what? I'll give it one more try. So, while on my birthday, we were at this restaurant called Cantina. See, that's when she suggested it. So then afterwards, while we were waiting, or just hanging out at Central Park. Where the heck is we were hanging out at Central Park. That's when I made my profile. And then I started asking her like suggestions on what I should put on my profile, and she helped me take the picture and everything like that. So I did appreciate that. But ironically enough, we're not friends anymore. But it's whatever. I'm gonna put my hair in a ponytail. So I uploaded my profile, and it was pretty, actually I found guys. I thought to myself, I'm not going to message anyone that I'm interested in. In fact, if someone is interested in me, then they would message me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. That's pretty obvious. This is an eyeliner, but I figured to just be random with it. Okay, so while that's happened, I met different guys. Some of them were weird. Some of them were like, they didn't take the online dating thing seriously. The other ones was just like that I would typically get would be just somebody that would talk to me. We'll have a good conversation the first day, but then when it comes to the next day, no, there would be no conversation, which was like a waste of time. So then I pretty much was thinking to myself, okay, this isn't working this way. And so I went online, and this is what the friend at the time suggested, to see like what other things you can do to draw more attention. And surprisingly enough, it wasn't just to show my boobs on a picture. So I had this funny idea. Like, one of the suggested things online said to draw attention to your profile. So I had this funny idea to, mind you, I don't know what I'm doing right now, and I keep doing this, and it's so weird. Anyway, so maybe I won't do a butterfly. Maybe I should do something Creepy. Okay, never mind. Okay. I usually do creepy stuff, so this will be very new. Yeah, so um I did change my profile, just like the information on there. Long story short is you know how there's an intro for it? Like tell your like talk about who you are as a person, what do you like and what do you want to see, what do you want out of the um like the dating app. And instead of just like being really boring, because at first my profile was really boring, it just said like a short thing. And then I had mostly like video, like pictures of me cooking, like the food I cooked, and pictures of me, of course. So then, I changed that, I took that off, and then I put more of an intro. You know the song Hello from Adele? I had that as my intro, my introduction of my profile. And instead of putting like, you know, the lyrics to Adele, I put hello, it's me. I forgot, it's been like a while. But yeah, I thought it would be funny. And it definitely got more guys' attention. Like I was getting a lot of guys that would message me and be like, oh, they will have their own response to it in a way of how they would message me. And I thought that was pretty cool. But also like I saw this other like makeup thing that I wanted to do, but I just realized never mind. Anyway. So then there was like, I'm gonna say, and this is not me bragging, I just want to tell you, like, I guess in detail, it was like, I think 3 or 4 guys, besides my potential boyfriend that was talking to me, and one of the guys, he would be really busy, so we didn't really talk a lot, so I asked him out. I had this rule also, not to mention, where, like, if I was talking to someone and because I was getting a lot of pattern of a guy, like, talking to me and then they would stop talking to me. So I was just like, alright, I need to come up with a plan to make it easier for me to just stop talking to them, or like just X them out as candidates to be potential people I want to date. And I was really serious about trying to find someone, so it helped me. And so I started like having this thing where my rules were I wouldn't let somebody that I first talked to immediately get my phone number. After like, I want to say 4 days, then I would give them my number. Or if we had consistent, and it had to be like consistent conversation of what we were talking about. Not like of what we were talking about, but mainly consistent conversation. Like it wasn't just, hi, that's it. And then there would be nothing else. There would be actually some type of interest. So, the other thing was that, I had this thing where if I go on a date and I see their potential of trying to go and pursue like something besides just talking outside of OkCupid, I would go on a date, but I would have 3 flags. And if the 3 flags, it could be various things. I'm not very like picky. It has to be obvious stuff like um which I would go into detail about, but I was definitely making sure that if I had the three flags, excuse me, that we wouldn't pursue going on another date or talk anymore. So, uh, it made it a lot easier. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it did make it a lot easier to talk to other guys. And when I seen that it was a waste of time, I'll keep moving. And there was two guys that I do remember that I went on a date for this example. The first guy, we met up really late because he just came out of work, and for some reason I made him sandwiches, which made no sense, but I thought it would be nice since he just got out of work or whatever. And then he, we met like around my area that I was living at the time, and then we went to call it a chicken shack in Jersey, but at the time, like the Texas chicken place that was nearby, and then he ordered more food, and then, I felt like it wasn't really going anywhere, but at the same time, I just remember him saying, "You're pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool," and I'm like, yeah, okay, is that it? And plus, I didn't have my feelings hurt when afterwards, um, he like, I don't know, I'm putting this on my nose, but I thought, whatever. That, he didn't message me. I didn't feel any type of way when we stopped talking. Cause like, at a certain degree, it's more like, do I just like him for his looks, or do I like him to get to know him and pursue a relationship? And that's a big, important thing to me, because I guess there's definitely a lot of opinions about online dating, and some people feel like it's fabricated and like everything is false about it. I'm not saying that it's perfect. It does have its pros and cons, but at the time I was just like, I don't want to waste time, and I really did want to be in a relationship, but like it was not the end all do all. So I did take some. Actually, to think about it, it didn't take a long time for me to find the current boyfriend I'm with. I guess it's more about timing. And then another example of like my other red flags was, perfect example actually, was this guy that I went on a date with. I thought it was a cute idea to go to the park a mile my way. At the time, I was really lazy. I still am. I'm not denying that. But at the same time, I thought it would be a cute idea to go to a park. Mind you, it was still around my area, but it wasn't like he didn't know where I lived or anything like that. This is still a stranger that I'm letting into my comfort zone. So we went to the park. We both I bought like sandwiches and stuff, and then he bought chips and drink. And I also brought my speaker. Super cute, So then when we actually sat down, when we was eating the sandwiches and stuff, we started talking about like our lives and stuff like that, which seemed cool at the time, listening to music and stuff like that. Then he got really personal about like stuff that made me uncomfortable. Like he was saying that about his family or whatever. And then the main thing that kind of it definitely gave me a red flag of not talking to him anymore, was the fact that he was like, oh, I was I was abusive to my previous ex-girlfriend. And I was like, I'm glad you told me. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with you and then find out you're actually abusive. But like, to be that comfortable and it's our first date, yeah, that's definitely a red flag. And after that like conversation, I wanted to leave. Um, I don't have a history of like giving advice to people in when I'm on dates. I just know different occurrences where I'm telling somebody, hey, during a time when you're on a date, you shouldn't do this. Pure example, I went on a date with a guy who didn't bring money on a date and admitted, oh, well, I wanted to go outside and my mom only gave me $20. What? We're both in our 20s, mind you, like our late, mid 20s, and he claimed that he didn't get paid at work or whatever. And I'm not just knocking, like, I kind of am, but not at the same time knocking that he got money from his mom or whatever. But at the same time, it's more like you only had $20. Why did you go outside in the first place? Or just be honest. I respect honesty more than just like, yeah, let's just go on this date. Which really, to be honest, wasn't a date. And he had his uncle drive us everywhere. Like the first time we went on a date, it was like his uncle drove us. Hey, you got transportation, that's fine. But he was really close to his uncle, so I'm sure he told his uncle about like our dates and stuff. But I guess I digress about that. But yeah, that guy, the one I had a date with at the park, was very uncomfortable, but very. I needed that experience to know what were my red flags, because afterwards he wanted to go on a date, but he was, excuse me, using all these excuses, even though I told him I didn't want to go on another date, and then I would respectfully will decline being friends as well. And before I even could like explain to him that I didn't want to continue down this path we're going, he was explaining how he wanted to go on a date, but he couldn't go on a date because he owed his sister money, and then he wanted to buy a cover for his phone or something like that, and then also that we would have to split the bill. It's really like it was a couple of years ago, so I vaguely remember the conversation, so I'm not going to go into complete detail about that. But then at the same time, it was kind of weird to explain his financial situation to me. One, I'm not judging on your financial situation, but the thing is, like, that's something you should think to yourself about, especially when you're telling a stranger about your financial situation as if I'm supposed to have some type of sympathy for you. It's like, what? Bro, I'm not your therapist. I didn't need all this information. And, like, when we agreed, I feel like we both agreed not to talk to each other afterwards. I realized that that was not true. He didn't agree with that because later on, he texts me not that long ago after that whole fiasco. Oh, I went to work and I almost got injured. I like almost died, but I'm okay. And I was just like, what? You're going through this pattern again of you like needing sympathy from me, and I'm just a stranger. I don't know you, and you were trying to pursue something, but it failed. It was a failed attempt. And I just told him honestly that I'm not like, you know, let's not go through this anymore or like go through this conversation. And I'm really done with like talking to you right now because I don't know, what do you want from me from that? Like, you're telling me all this, but what do I get out of this? And what do you get out of this? Am I supposed to feel bad because I don't? And I didn't understand why he was telling me this. But anyway, he stopped talking. He stopped like calling and all that, but it was fine. And then It was really random guys where it was like this one guy who admits that he's like a broke college student who just goes on. He was looking for someone to pay for his lunch because of the fact that he's a broke college student and he doesn't take the website seriously. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of people, I don't want to say just guys, that don't take the website seriously. That's why Tinder is so popular. It's just opinion. But at the same time, not saying there's not people that haven't met someone in a serious relationship on Tinder. I just haven't met anybody who has. But if you were a comment below, that's not true. There's so many people that have been dating on Tinder. It's just like, okay, go ahead. That's fine. But that's what I was saying. So afterwards, I did meet another person, and it was fine. Like we went on a date. It was a really nice date. We hung around 42nd Street, and there was just like this festival where you buy a certain amount of tickets and you give the ticket to a vendor. It's different vendors that have like restaurants or whatever, Applebee's or whatever the case may be, that was around 42nd Street. You give them, let's say they're selling water. You give them a ticket, they give you that item that they're selling. And we split it, the tickets, so we each bought 20, and then like 20, you're really set for the whole day. You could just go through, like some things were 3 tickets, some were 4, some were 2 or 1, but yeah, we split the tickets, and we ate and talked to each other, but it was mainly really like us just walking and stuff like that, and just having a good time. For the most part, we didn't really like talk. We like enjoyed the experience. But then we went to a bar once the festival was like closing, and we mutually agreed that, you know, we just wanted to be friends, and that was fine. So then, actually, I did forget to mention that during the time when I made the profile, my current boyfriend messaged me. He actually was one of not like the first guys to say anything to me, but he's like, "Oh, I like your profile," or whatever he said. I don't remember. Mine just is years ago, and we talked, and I liked this conversation. He was really nice. His I think till this day we still talk about like his username, and he's always correcting me about it, but at the same time I thought it was cute. And we didn't immediately hit it off. There was a period of time where we weren't talking, and it had nothing to do with anything. Just like I said, everything is timing. So there was this one day that I just messaged him again, and we was talking again, and yeah, then we went on an actual date, and I had a good time. And when we went on like our third date, we just like hit it off really well, because we both had a lot of things in common, where like we're both nerds and stuff like that. And does it look like a butterfly? It looks like 2 butts. It does. Or number 3s. Anyway, so we were talking to each other. We exchanged like numbers and stuff, and I really liked him. Oh, I remember our date. So I almost it's gonna kill me. I almost forgot. Okay, so like we went to the village, and then we had like went to this sushi spot, and then we was like walking around St. Mark's. And we went to this tea place after the restaurant. It's like a coffee. It's called Coffee Bean, I think. And I remember I had like a hibiscus donut, and we was like hanging out there. Then we went to Dave and Buster's and the Disney store. And when we was at Dave and Buster's, I really wanted to hold his hand, but then I kind of like, I think we did hold hands. I don't remember, but this is bad. It was really fun. And then like, well, I think like a month afterwards. Wow, I'm saying I think a month afterwards. Well, we went to the movie theater, and then we went to see Finding Dory. But before we went to the movies, it was like so. Okay, I guess, yeah, you could say it was romantic because he's like, properly asking me to be his girlfriend. It's not like somebody like text me, hey, just want to be together, let's go out and stuff, and be like, I guess. He actually asked me, like, I almost thought he was gonna go on bended knee and be like, let's get married, and I'm like, oh my god, let's go to Vegas. But no. He's like, will you be my girlfriend? I was like, ah. Obviously, I said yeah. And then we watched Finding Dory, and it's so funny because I feel like the theme of our whole relationship is destiny. That sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Because, like, Finding Dory, that movie, which is a classic, they're talking about Destiny. There's a character named Destiny. He likes playing Destiny. Every time I would listen to, because I like listening to the radio on my phone, there was like one time I was on a bus and they were talking about Destiny, and not the game or like the character from the movie. I don't even know what they were talking about. They were just mentioning Destiny, and I'm like, oh my god, it's fate. I've never, like, I'm not one that's anti-love or anything. I love anybody who's in a relationship, or like that whole process and stuff is great. Before I was like not sure about it, but I would never be jealous of somebody who was with someone. But I've always seen, like, especially on Facebook, person in love posting all this, and then eventually they're not together anymore, and that's terrible. So that's why I was just like, I've never had that experience where I was in love. I've been in a relationship, a quote unquote relationship before, and it was trash. So we can go into that in another video. But yeah, it was nice to actually have somebody who actually does care about you, and not just in the words, it's in his actions. And I'm like, we always mention, like, it's so crazy how we've met online, and it's all about timing. I always keep saying that to myself. It's about timing. Because let's just say I went with the person that I went to the park with, just like, that would have been trash, and that would be another ex that I would have had and wrote probably a poem about. Another thing I do is, like, vent by doing creative stuff, whether it be drawing or writing poetry that I try to transcend into a song. But yeah, it's a great feeling because we would count how long we were together. Like, oh my god, our first month. And then at the time when I was working at Madison Square Garden, my coworkers would be like, oh my god, how long has it been now? Because before I was dating my boyfriend at the time, well, my current boyfriend, one of my coworkers, she was like, I guess we have that one person who loves to like be the match, what do they call it? Like the love match person, the match dating person, whatever it's called. I forgot. I don't know why, but they'll be like, "Oh, I got someone perfect for you." Blah blah blah. He's great. She's great. You'll be great. And then to find out, like, we didn't. Well, I never met the person. She showed me a video, like actually a picture. And the coolest thing about it was that he was a wedding singer. And of course I saw the movie, so I was like, "Oh my gosh, this seems so cool." And yeah, I never met him because she forgot or whatever. Whatever. Because now I'm dating my current boyfriend, and we've been dating for 3 years and some change. And she would always ask, "So, how are you and your boyfriend?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, we're at this date, such and such." Um, so, like, our first, we would always count every little first thing, or even the things that we did together in general. So, like, it was really great, to have this moment with someone I cared about. I still care about him, as obvious. So, like, I don't know what I'm doing with this makeup. It just looks like I'm putting a whole bunch of eyeshadow on my face. And that's okay. Because it's a butterfly. It's a butterfly. You see it? It's cool, right? Let me see in the mirror. Hold on. No. Okay, so long story short is that my opinion with online dating is, as long as you know what you're getting into and you don't like feed into the negative aspects of dating. And yes, catfish is a thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm lucky enough that I haven't gotten, and I never been. I don't want to say I will never say never. I'm everywhere. I'm all at once. This, but I would agree that catfishing is a thing. But like, if you can read the signs and stuff like that, then you can see that somebody is not actually for you. Or even if they really care about you, they wouldn't make you feel insecure about where it's heading. Because you can technically be catfished in a sense where it doesn't just have to be somebody you never met in person. Like, there's plenty of people that ghost people. Heck, there's a new show called Ghost Me or something like that on MTV. And my thing is that there's plenty of people that have different forms of being catfished, bamboozled, tricked. And I guess, like, it's good that there's a platform for catfishing or ghosting, I guess. But at the same time, there's different forms of it. And unfortunately, it's not talked about as much. And yes, there is a formula for catfishing. Like, there's plenty of people that you start seeing that Catfish, the show now I'm talking about, is kind of repetitive in this in a form of like, okay, you meet the person, you start talking or something dramatic happens. I guess I digress about this, but like, we can talk about this in another video. But long story short is that yes, catfishing is a thing. But like with me, I'm giving you these examples on my story time because I've had experience. I'm not a professional dater. This is not a thing. But I just realized this is something that I want, and when you're determined to do something, you start giving yourself like rules and stuff like that. Like, I gave myself red flags because I wanted to make sure whoever I was talking to would be right for me. I was not going to say obviously, I kind of was, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure they were right for me. And I didn't want to be like my last relationship was super trash. It was trash. It was garbage. It was ugh. It was disgusting. It was I'm so glad I'm out of it. It was toxic. It was all that negative crap. You want to put it in a barrel and throw it out in a disposal. Like one of those disposables in the Sims game that just deletes garbage. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I think I'll make a video about that. Maybe if you guys want to see that, like, comment below. But yeah, I'm saying all this to say that the time, like, you have to try. It's not a problem with trying something new. It should be, yeah, it's definitely scary. Like, when I tell people, and sometimes I even forget, yeah, we met online. It's not something everybody says without like somebody getting a reaction like, what? That's taboo. Nobody does that. How's that possible? Because there's like so many negative traits to dating online. And then there's other forms of not just an online dating website. People meet on like PS4 or Xbox One with the chatting online and stuff, or like Facebook and stuff like that. And some people have failed relationships, some people have like good ones. And I feel like I lucked out. I don't like that like phrase, but whatever. I got lucky, but at the same time I didn't, because I actually did the work. Like, in a sense, I did the work where I made sure I didn't give somebody leadway, or like, oh, I'll just let this pass. Oh, they ignore my call or something like that. Okay, if they ignore my call, I'm not going to talk to them anymore. That's the hint. And then I learned from experiences, when somebody tells you who they are up front, don't force them into being something else that they're not. Not preaching, and I'm not trying to give you advice. I'm just going by my own experience. There's plenty of people, like plenty of my personal friends who've been rejected. I've been rejected too, and I've been afraid of rejection. But the thing with me is that it never stopped me. It actually encouraged me to become like more understanding of somebody's situation. Like, okay, but my thing, regardless of how they feel, like with exes, I've never been their friends. I feel like it's very weird to be friends with your ex. If you just want to be cordial and then eventually die off and stop talking to each other, okay. But to be friends with your ex is so strange to me. I don't get that concept. It's like, yeah, y'all can't mix the two. Y'all can't be friends and then still have those privileges of being in a relationship, and people mix that up, in my opinion. So like, it's really weird and very emotionally draining, because people become more like manipulative with situations where they feel like, oh, we're friends, but I'm gonna do this or that, whatever it is, to make it seem like we might potentially get back together, and it's most likely not. I think there should be a conversation about that, where people should, I don't know, not try to still be their ex-friend. If you do, that's fine, but like, if you actually don't want to be with them, you shouldn't have to like make it convenient for them because they don't want to just be friends anymore, or they just really want to be friends with you so you can get back together. It's just like a mixed bag that nobody wants to deal with. And I don't know. So with all that being said, I enjoyed that experience, and I always say the same thing. If I were to do it again, I would, and that wouldn't change anything. I got to meet new people out of being in this relationship, and then I learned a lot about myself. I'm very patient and stuff like that, even from my last relationship. But I know my tolerance level. Like, if there were to be a case like, I'm not gonna let somebody just walk all over me, especially in a relationship. That form of trust with someone, there should be a peace of mind. So, especially from learning from people in high school that had relationships that were very toxic, and to watch them just say it's okay. It can be two ways. With manipulation, like I've seen in the past, where one person is very controlling, but the other person is like allowing everything to happen. Like, this is just a whole, like, this conversation can go super left for no reason. But from learning from experience from when I was younger and people in relationships, like, not like super young, like a toddler or something, or like in middle school, but mostly I'm talking about high school, seeing people that would be in a relationship because they wanted to be with someone. And the first thing you should do, once again, I'm not preaching and I'm not like giving you advice, but my personal thing was that I have to love myself first before I love someone else. Like, I've always thought it was a quotable thing to say. How the hell are you gonna love someone? But how the hell are you gonna love somebody if you don't love yourself? It makes so much sense, because you're gonna put so much damage and baggage and like toxic situations in a new relationship, where it will cause you to like put up a wall or compare, like, this person's similar to my ex because X, Y, and Z. And that's not fair to the person you're with, and it's not fair to yourself. So, like, I feel like relationships are all a learning experience, because there's people that will, the end route is to get married, but there's people that are comfortably fine with not getting married. And I'm in between. I'm more like, if I get married, cool. If I don't, it's not a big deal. My parents weren't married, and they were together for a really long time. What, you know, So, I thought it would be a fun idea to bring up this conversation. So, like, I never showed him in any of my videos. He exists in the atmosphere. Actually, he was kind of in a previous video. You can kind of hear him. I feel like it would be funny just to pretend he's not real. Just like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. He lives in Canada. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's so funny. Good times. Actually, I didn't do that. But I do remember seeing a show where the kid pretends that his girlfriend is in Canada. And it's like, who the heck is gonna believe that? I guess other little kids? I don't know. But yeah. So, like, dating in general can be fun, and it can be also exhausting. There's so many things that you have to deal with. Like, meeting new people can be stressful, or it can be really exciting. Like, I can put on an accent and pretend to be someone else. Or, like, it's like an acting role all of a sudden. Yeah, I gotta tell my old friends, new friends, and you just gotta roll with it. Or not. I don't know. But So, meeting new people is fun, but it's also exhausting. Like, going to a party or something like that. I like parties. I also like being alone. So, is there a middle of being an introvert and an extrovert? What's that middle line? What's that silver lining? Because that's me. I'm not an introvert, but I'm not an extrovert. I'm that middle line. Because I am very friendly. I can be nice and like happy and get to meet new people. And then also I can just like, I would prefer to be alone. So that's why I'm that middle line. And alright guys. I don't want to end this. I don't know why. Maybe it'll be a part 2 of this video. So like, it's already at the 45-minute line. I don't know. Forget it. I'm gonna make this an hour. Also, Halloween is coming up. What are you guys gonna? Are you guys gonna dress up as are you gonna dress up for Halloween? If you are, let me know in the comments below. Especially since, alright, so my new job, they are having a Halloween costume contest, and and I think the winner gets like $100 gift card or whatever. So I've had this brilliant idea of being the core values, and I'll show it on my next video. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna get the stuff for my costume tomorrow. And then we also had a pumpkin carving contest. I'll let you know if I won. I feel like we did. My group won because me and a coworker did the pumpkin. I was gonna do it by myself originally, but I'm glad I got help because it was a lot more fun with somebody else. Anyway, I don't want to make this video super long. I will do another part. Also, I did remember I was going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy phone, and later on how I feel it is. I noticed so yeah, the phone is great. It hasn't exploded on me yet, so thumbs up for that. Also, it has panorama like camera edit, so I can do that. I wanted that in my phone. And then it has really cool emojis. This is like minor stuff. I'm not a phone tech person. This is actually the first phone, expensive ass phone by that I've paid. Like I had to like, I was thinking hard. No, I didn't. I definitely wanted it, but I was just like, dang, do I really want to pay this much for a phone? And then I was like, eh. It's the way of life. YOLO is the way of life. So, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Alright, bye.